They told you that being alone is something to be afraid of. That silence is dangerous. That love is everything, even if it costs you your peace. But here's the truth nobody told you. Living alone, building alone, growing alone, beats any relationship that drains your soul. Denzel Washington once said, "You'll never be criticized by someone doing more than you. You'll be criticized by someone doing less." And often, that someone is in your own circle. There's a huge difference between being alone and being lonely. Loneliness is the pain of not having people around. But being alone, that's power. That's freedom. That's waking up with your own schedule, living life on your own terms, not negotiating your worth, not waiting for texts, not seeking approval. When you're alone, the only person you have to please is yourself. Denzel Washington built his career not by staying in circles that clapped when he failed, but by isolating himself, focusing on the mission, and trusting his vision. You don't need someone to complete you. You need to complete your mission. Let's be honest. Most people aren't in love. They're in fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of being left out. Fear of what society will say. So they choose partners based on convenience, not connection. Out of loneliness, not loyalty. And the result? Distraction, drama, delays. Every time you try to level up, they feel insecure. Every goal you chase, they pull you back. Every dream you speak, they stay silent. And that silence isn't peace. It's jealousy hiding behind love. Denzel Washington said, "Some people will never like you because your spirit irritates their demons." Read that again. Your presence is too powerful for the wrong person. Your dream's too big for small-minded relationships. Growth doesn't happen in crowded rooms. It happens in silence, in solitude. When no one is pulling on your energy. When you're free to fail, free to rise, free to discover who you are without the noise. Living alone gives you that space. You learn what you like. You discover your pace. You find your voice. In relationships that aren't aligned with your purpose, you shrink, you compromise, you hesitate. But when you're alone, you build a relationship with yourself. And that's the only relationship you'll never regret investing in. You can't heal in the same environment that broke you. Let that sink in. Some people break you, then expect you to heal while they're still around. Still texting, still calling, still checking in. But real healing requires distance. It requires silence. It requires time. When you're alone, you confront your pain. You stop blaming others. You stop waiting for closure. You find it in your own strength. Denzel Washington didn't rise by chasing approval. He rose by discipline, by self-reflection, by grit. And when you're alone, those things become your daily habits. You wake up with clarity. You sleep with peace. No arguments, no expectations, no fake apologies. Society tells you to find your other half. But you're not half of anything. You're already whole. A relationship is not supposed to complete you. It should complement you. But if it starts costing you your goals, your mental health, your growth, it's a bad investment. Living alone forces you to build purpose before partnership, to know your direction before you share your destination. And when you walk in purpose, you stop entertaining anything that doesn't align with it. Do what you have to do what you want to do. Denzel Washington. Living alone teaches you that. Discipline, structure, vision. You stop chasing people. You start chasing legacy. When you're not caught up in emotional roller coasters, you have time to build. Business, health, mindset, peace. You learn how to cook for yourself, handle your finances, read books that elevate your mind, watch content that feeds your purpose, meditate, train, grind, create. Most people in average relationships are distracted. Netflix, fights, overthinking, emotional dependency, living the same week 52 times and calling it a life. But when you're alone, you grow every week. You become dangerous in silence. You become the version of you that no one saw coming. Every relationship takes energy. If you give that energy to the wrong people, you bankrupt your soul. Denzel Washington once said, "Some people come into your life as blessings. Others come as lessons." When you're alone, you stop mistaking lessons for blessings. You start seeing clearly. You protect your energy like it's money, because it is. You only have so much to give. And if you give it all to arguments, validation, and toxic patterns, you won't have any left for yourself. Here's the best part about living alone. You won't settle when someone finally comes along. Because now, you know your worth. You've tasted peace. You've built discipline. You've walked through fire, alone. So now, Love isn't survival, it's abundance. It's not a need, it's a choice. And you'll only say yes to someone who adds peace, not chaos, support, not silence, growth, not distraction. The ones who can't handle your silence, your grind, your growth, weren't meant for the future you. Think of the greats: Denzel Washington, Kobe Bryant, Steve Jobs, Oprah. They all had seasons of silence, seasons of isolation, where they weren't partying, they weren't dating around, they weren't pleasing anyone. They were locked in, building, failing, grinding. That season of being alone became the foundation for a lifetime of greatness. So if you're alone right now, you're not behind. You're in the prep room for destiny, the quiet before the legacy. At the end of the day, you were born alone. You'll leave alone. And the space in between is yours to design. Don't fill it with noise. Don't spend it pleasing. Don't give it to those who don't deserve it. Live boldly. Love yourself first. Walk alone if you must, but walk with your head high and your peace intact. Because as Denzel Washington reminds us, you pray for rain, you gotta deal with the mud too. That's a part of it. Living alone may be hard at first, but it's the rain that waters your roots. It's the mud that grows your strength. And when the world finally sees who you've become, they'll realize you were never lonely. You were just becoming unstoppable. If this message touched you, hit like, share it with someone struggling in silence, and subscribe for more Denzel Washington-inspired motivation. Stay grounded, stay alone if you must, because sometimes living alone is the highest form of self-love.